All right, good afternoon, CrossFit Humanity. Coach Stephanie here. Today's cardio core has got a little bit of everything, but what it really has are burpee tuck jumps, and that is a really fun, intense version of a movement you guys already do all the time. So I'm excited to do some burpee tuck jumps today. We have a 30-minute AMRAP. You may need a jump rope. If you don't have a jump rope, the workout on here you can do without a jump rope. So that's one. You may need an ab mat. I will give you an option if you don't have one. And then the last thing is a dumbbell or a weight of some kind. It can be a backpack. It can be something other than regular fitness weights. But you want something that you're going to be able to kind of hold overhead without a whole lot of problem. And I'll show you the movement that we're going to need that dumbbell for, or the two movements. So let's take a look at what we have for today. All right, so actually I'll bring it a little closer. Okay, there we go. All right, so we have a two-part workout. Second part comes about 2 minutes after the first part. First part, 30-minute AMRAP, so as many rounds as possible. You're going to do 100 jump rope, or if you don't have a jump rope, you can do just 100 straight jumps, like or over a line, like lateral hops. Or you can go with 40 double unders if that's something that you're practicing or working on today. We've got 10 single front rack lunges, and that's going to be 10 on each side. So you'll hold the dumbbell in one arm, do 10 lunges, dumbbell in the other arm, and then that will be the set for that. 10 burpee tuck jumps, 10 forearm plank knee to elbow taps, and that's going to be each side. So you'll end up counting essentially to 20. And then the last thing is 10 overhead sit-ups. So that's what we're going to need to make sure that the dumbbell or the weight we have is appropriate for our sit-up. Okay? Once we complete this 30 minutes, we're going to rest for 2 minutes. And then we have a little 6-minute core blaster, if you will. First movement, 30 seconds single leg sit up. It's going to be on the right side. And then we're going to go 30 seconds single leg sit up on the left side. Then you're going to go 30 seconds of bicycle sit-ups, 30 seconds rest. You're going to do that 30 times. So we're going to go over the movements real quick so that if you're watching this later or you're going to do this on your own time, you kind of have an idea of the movements, and then we'll talk about our warm-up. Okay? So for the jump rope, again, you have the option. Let's make sure there's enough room here. You guys have the option of just doing straight jumps or lateral hops, or going with your jump rope. So if you're doing that lateral hop, it's just feet together, nice and light. You'll do the 100 that's on here, and then, like I said, 40 doubles if you're practicing that. Single arm front rack lunge. You're going to grab the dumbbell weight or whatever weight you have, and we're going to place it. We'll start on this right side. You're going to keep your chest up. You're going to step back into the lunge, and we're going to go back and forth. So we're going to do 10 back-stepping lunges on this side. And then you'll grab the dumbbell on the other side, and same thing, 10 on the second side, okay? Your burpee tuck jump, okay? The tuck part of this jump is kind of the main part. So when you're doing this, if you need a moment to prepare for the jump, give yourself that time, okay? So the burpee, obviously, is all the way down, all the way up. Try to land with flat feet. So then from there, you can go up, tuck, and then a nice landing. Okay, we'll see that again. So burpee, and jump, and land. Okay, so that's your burpee tuck jump. It's going to make those burpees a lot harder, so you're going to have to slow down just a little bit because I really want you to get those feet as high off the ground as possible. Forearm plank, knee to elbow. Okay, so we're going to drop down into forearm plank position. Okay, and then from here, pushing down into the floor with the forearms, you're going to bring one knee to elbow, and then switch, other knee, and you're going to go back and forth a total of 20 times or 10 on each. Okay, we're going to get some of those obliques fired up. Last movement, 10 overhead sit-ups. So this is where you may, if you have an ab mat, you can use the ab mat. If you don't, like I said, I'll show you the option. So if you have the ab mat, that part of the ab mat goes by your butt. We're going to butterfly our feet like we normally would in our ab mat sit-up. But this time, holding the dumbbell with one hand, okay, I'm going to go all the way down to the floor. I'm going to hold that dumbbell overhead, and then I'm going to sit up and press it out. I'm going to come back down, gonna sit up and out. Okay. Now, if you don't have that ab mat, totally okay. It still works. The only difference now is you're just gonna put your feet flat on the floor. I don't need your feet super close to your butt. Just bend your knees enough so you can get your feet flat so that you can then sit up and then sit back down. Okay, so there's your overhead sit-ups. If that's not working for you today, you can always do weighted sit-ups with an ab mat or without. So that's another option, or just regular sit-ups, feet on the floor is also an option. Okay, so once we're ready for our second part, the ab part, single leg sit-up. So this position, you're gonna go one leg up, one leg down, opposite arm or same arm out to the side, and you're gonna lift opposite hand to foot for 30 seconds. Okay. And then we're gonna switch. And you're trying to reach to the outer edge of the foot. And then after 30 seconds, classic bicycle sit-up. Goal is to keep pushing that belly button down. After the bicycle sit-ups, we rest 2 more times. Okay. So those are all of the movements for your workout today. If you are doing this later, just make sure that when you're going through the warm-up that you do your movement prep so that all of these movements feel good and that everything moves well. All right, let's talk warm-up. All right, so, and all of this is at the bottom of the comments, so in case you forget or you need to write it down, it should be below. All right, so 5-minute AMRAP. Here's what we got. 10 calf raises. Well, one, that's to warm up your lower legs for the jumping, but also for those tuck jumps. So you got the jump rope and the tuck jumps. 5 lunge squats. So you're going to step back with the right, you'll step back with the left, you'll do a squat. That's 1. Do 5 of those. You got 5 sprawls, burpee without a push-up, and then 3 down dog to up dog. Okay, so I'll go over some of these movements real quick. Okay, for the calf raise, just feet right underneath you, up and down. Okay. For the lunge squat, we're going to go lunge, squat. Okay. Sprawl, burpee without. So you just hop your feet back, feet forward, try to land flat and stand, no jump. And then down dog to up dog. This is our kind of stretchy part where we're looking to just stretch out the front and back side. So we're going to press our chest to the toes. And then you're going to come forward and let the hips go down and lift the chest. And then you go back, down dog, and through to up dog, and you'll do 3 of those. Okay. So, if you're watching live and you have any questions about what weight to use, or if you're like, I don't have a dumbbell, but I have this, let me know and I'll give you some help on that. If we feel good, I'm going to get the clock ready, and then we're going to start this first little warm up. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we're going for 5 minutes. Cool. Okay. You see that? Sort of. You can sort of see the clock. Okay. So there's a 10-second countdown. On the count of go, we start with the 10 calf raises, 5 lunge squat. We got 5 sprawls, and then 3 down dog, up dog. All right, let's do it. 10-second countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Right, get really high on these tippy toes as you lift and come back down. Warm up your feet. And then on the lunges, this is prep for lunges coming up, and try to keep that chest up every step and step back far enough so that that front knee is over the front heel, but not so far that it's like a really long position. Okay? So I want us to try to stay away from lunging like this. We're just going to get a stretch here. I want you to see a little bit more stacked underneath the hip. Okay, I got one more. Okay, on the sprawl, keep the belly really tight so we don't get that kind of banana back, the little kind of rebounds that can happen. From the down dog to up dog, really push through the palms to try to lift those hips up towards the ceiling, and then press the chest to the toes. And then as you come forward, draw the shoulder blades down your back and together. Press in the up dog. Open the chest. Open the chest on the up dog. Press on the down dog. All right, we're coming up on 2 minutes in. Right. Really work on keeping those arms locked out too. That's going to help you on those overhead sit-ups. Two more minutes. And as you're in down dog and you're pressing your hips up, drive your heels down and get a little extra calf stretch there. Come forward. I like to just like to let my knees just come to the floor on the up dog. Go back to the down dog. About 90 seconds. Final 60 seconds. The clock doesn't know that we're on a warm-up. He thinks we're going super hard with it. So that's okay. Just warm up. About 20 seconds. Ten seconds. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, time. Okay, so while I am getting the clock ready, the board ready, and the angle a little bit better, grab what you need for the workout if you haven't already. And we will get started on our movement prep in just a moment. Okay. Make sure you guys can see. There we go. All right. So we got that. Good. All right. So this, we're going to start with our jump rope we're gonna start with the jump rope first. Let's do 20 singles, 10 doubles, or just 10 to 20 seconds of just kind of some jumping if you don't have a jump rope, just to kind of make sure our coordination is there. So we'll start with that. I haven't decided if I'm doing doubles or singles. I'm going to do doubles, but let's see. Let's see where the doubles are. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. All right, so now let's warm up the front rack lunge. So grab the weight that you have. We're going to start on the right side. We're going to step. We're going to do 6 total steps, 3 on each side. Okay, so keeping that dumbbell kind of up and elevated. We're going to step back 3 steps and then switch. All right, so the weight of the dumbbell today shouldn't be super heavy. You should be able to do all 10 of those lunges on each side unbroken, kind of no problem. It's just there to give you just a little weight, okay? Burpee tuck jump, we're gonna do 2. Remember, if you land your feet flat, jumping is gonna be a little easier, okay? So let's go all the way down to the floor, jump your feet forward, tuck, and gently land. Let's do one more. And land. Good. Now, if for whatever reason that tuck jump is not something that you want to work with today, regular burpees without the tuck jump, good. Regular burpees with a really high straight jump, just jumping really tall, also really good. So if the tuck's not for you, just find a higher jump to make that burpee a little bit more challenging today. Forearm plank, knee to elbow taps. Let's do 2 on each side. So getting down onto the forearms. I want those arms to make like a little box. So the same distance between hands, elbows, instead of kind of falling in this way, which tends to happen. We're gonna hug those elbows in and keep it nice, a straight line with everything, okay? Coming to the forearms, you're gonna go right knee, right tricep, and then left, right, and the left, okay? And then the last, our overhead sit-up. This is probably going to be the most challenging in terms of figuring out which weight you want to use. So let's try 4 reps. I think today I'm not going to use the ab mat. I like the version with my feet flat on the floor. I felt I had just a teensy more control. If you have that ab mat though, totally use it if you like it. But let's get 4 reps to make sure that the variation you're working with today looks good. Yeah. So all the way down. And then when you come to the top here, I really want you to try to keep those arms locked out and bring those biceps right by the ears so that we can train that really good overhead position. Okay. Well, and then the core, we'll do the core set at the end for the movement prep. But we don't need to really do a movement prep for that. We'll just do it. So I think I'm ready. If you guys, those of you with me, if you're not quite ready, if you have a question, let me know. If not, we're gonna get this started. I'm guessing for me today, let's see, 30 minutes. Probably maybe in the 5 rounder range. Hoping maybe for a little less, we'll see. But we just keep going round and round. Who knows? All right, so if you have at home, if you have some music, I'd recommend putting it on. Can't put it on here because I don't want to get copyrighted. So we're gonna start this. It's 30 minutes. Pace yourself in this first round, see how it feels, and then adjust your pace from there. All right, let's do this. Okay, we are gonna have another 10-second countdown. We start with the jump rope, then we go from there. All right, 10 seconds. All right, 2, 1, and go. stand. Just a nice pace on the lunges. You really want to drive through that front foot to get you to stand. That back foot is there for balance. It's not really pushing. And then another thing to consider with your lunge is to think about it as a version of a squat. So a lunge is kind of a single leg squat. So when you're stepping back, you want to make sure you have some width between your feet. That'll give you a better base of support. And then it's going to just transfer that movement a little better to your squat. Okay. Here's the fun stuff. Burpee tuck jumps. So on the tuck, right, this is supposed to be kind of a training piece for, say, if you were a gymnast and wanted to learn back tuck. So that means I want you to really extend and jump before you bring those knees up. Whoa, let's get tough. Okay. Release knee to elbows. Try not to sit too far back in the plank. You want to make sure that that shoulder is kind of right over slightly front of the elbow. That's going to give you a really nice balance point. So you're able to bring those knees to either arm. Whew. Okay, let's do it. Whew. All right. Sit-ups. Again, find the version of the sit-up that works best for you today. If you just want to weight that sit-up, I recommend holding butt up, or butt towards your face and then butt below of the dumbbell in that way. So that you can still do a sit-up, but got a little external weight. Ooh. All right, we're coming up on 24 minutes. I think it's because I don't want to make any noise and then I might bring my arms out. So if that's happening, if it's happening to you that you're tripping, one thing that could be happening, or one of two things, is that we're getting a little too high this way, or we're getting a little bit out this way. Either way shortens the rope, more likely to trip. Okay, so try to keep those elbows in, the arms kind of reaching down, nice and relaxed. Whoop. Okay, that was enough. Now, if the front rack is challenging for you today, like we've been doing with other stuff, you can grab like the heads of the dumbbell and put it more into a front rack, like a double front rack. Okay? That's also an option. Something to consider now when we go to our burpee tuck jumps is that one of the reasons we see the burpee with the like full snake is we're losing midline control. And so as you're pushing off of the floor, try to think about pushing your belly button up towards the spine. At the same time, you're pushing into the ground. That's going to help lift your whole body up, make it a little easier to come off the floor. So instead of it looking like this, okay, it looks more like this. Down, up. I have just more control here. And that's going to make it a little bit more like an ab exercise. Okay? All right, none of those counted. Make sure I do 10 full burpee tuck jumps. These overheads, if you're with me on these, you're press the dumbbell up, pull the biceps back towards the ears, and then go back down. Ooh. Those are a lot spicier than I thought they were going to be. Well, I was going to say mostly for the shoulders, but now just kind of all over. Oh, back to the jump rope. All right, we're 17 and a half minutes to go. Rah! All right, we're officially halfway. This is going to be the end of my third round. If you've lost track, or just a reminder, coming up on 12 minutes. Sit-ups. Oh yeah, that's really dirty. Okay. All right. There's moments of every long workout where sometimes you just forget where you are. Or like in the workout, not just like in life journal. But it's happened to me a couple times. Okay, here we go. All right, finally. All right, less than 10 minutes. do these tuck jumps. Five minutes to go. Well, my math was pretty good. This is going into the 5th round. We got 4.5 minutes left. We'll see how far we can get. And then right when we're done, we're going to rest for 2 minutes and then hit that core piece. Shoulders. The front rack into the tuck. Yeah, it's on. It's good. Burning shoulders. Okay. Ooh. Of course, on the last 2 rounds. kidding. We're almost home. Coming up on 2 minutes. Almost there. Oh, man. 35 seconds. Seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Time. All right, gang. I'm just gonna put 2 minutes on the clock. We're gonna take that time to recover, and then we'll do our little core finisher. All right. So let's see. I ended up getting almost all the way through the 5th round. I think I had 8 overhead sit-ups to do. I think there's definitely room in there. There was time that I didn't do the work. So if you wanted to score higher than that, like in the full 5, 6, 7 range, then you just have to make sure you're not resting too much. There's definitely time for that. Now on this core piece, I want you to think about hollow body position the whole time. So it's not just that we're reaching to the foot with the opposite hand, but we've maintained a hollowed position while we're doing that so that we can train that position as well as the movement in general. Okay, so we have about 60 seconds more of rest. And then I'm going to put the clock on. It's going to start with 30 seconds of single leg sit-ups on the right side, then 30 seconds on the left, 30 seconds bicycle, 30 seconds rest. And we'll do that 3 times. Oh. So big breaths here. I'll bring that heart rate down. I'll make kind of transitioning into this next part a little bit easier. 20 seconds. There's a 10-second countdown, so I'm going to start getting this ready for us. Okay. Ooh. All right, we've got 10 seconds. Okay, so you're going to lay on your foot. You're going to lay on the back. Right leg up, left leg on the floor. Right arm out. And go. So you're reaching to the outer edge of the right foot with the left hand. I want you to keep those front ribs down and that hollowed out belly shape. You're trying to get both of your shoulder blades off of the floor every time. Ten seconds, and then we switch. 3, 2, 1. Other side. Right hand, the outer edge of the left foot. Try to get both shoulder blades to lift off of the floor. Three, 2, 1. Bicycles, hands behind the head, elbows stay wide. Opposite elbow to knee. Keep that hollowed out belly. Ooh, I'm already burning. Nine seconds. We rest. 5, 3, 2, 1. Rest. So that's a rest. Just let your belly relax here. Think about a full belly worth of food and how you're just letting everything hang out. Thirteen more seconds, and then we start on the first side, right leg up. Really try to rest that belly. 3, 2, 1, go. This is round 2. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Switch. Left leg up. Seconds. 3, 2, 1. Bicycles. Try to get that belly button down to the floor. Seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Try to stay completely relaxed in the belly. Got one more round. One second. Belly's not recovered. 5, 3, 2, 1. Right leg up. Seconds. 3, 2, 1, and switch. All right, and bicycles. Last round. 30 seconds left. Whew. 15. 5, 3, 1, and rest. That was rest. Whew. That was our final round. All right, everybody. I don't know about you, but my core feels sufficiently burned, which is always good. All right. Just a couple stretches before we close out. Just remember that you can always use any of the yoga practices that are on the YouTube channel. Alex Great Recovery. They run about 30 to 40 minutes. But for today, for our finish, from all of that ab work we did, let's go ahead. We're going to come into a lunge. Right foot's going to step forward. You're going to draw those hips down. And then I want you to just reach the arms overhead and release the thumbs and lift. You're trying to kind of open up the chest to the ceiling, stretch out the belly. And those hip flexors from basically pretty much everything we did today. So tuck, jump, plank, and overhead sit up for sure. Let's go ahead and switch. Whew. Go ahead and let those hips drop down. And release the thumbs, go overhead, reach up, lift up, stretch here. All right, go ahead and release. Let's take a seat. Final stretch here. You're going to cross your shins. And I want you to cross your shins so that your feet are kind of more near your knees than towards your butt. So like kind of open up the cross a little bit. And then from here, reach the arms up. And then just let yourself hold and drop. You should be feeling a nice little stretch in the outer hips, maybe even lower back. Sometimes in the hammies if you feel tight there. All right, go ahead and sit on up. Nice job today, guys. You guys crushed it. This was, every time I program these workouts, I'm always pleasantly surprised of at least one movement. And I think the movement for me today was the overhead sit-up. It got spicier than I was expecting. So I'm going to keep that one in my back pocket. So yeah, and then of course the core, that's just burns. So always good. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. And those of you watching later, if you have any questions or if you did a different modification to something I suggested or just swapped out a movement that you really liked, leave it in the comments below for those that have not done this workout yet. And yeah, I think that's it for the day. Thursday, we're going to have a format that's kind of similar. So we'll see an AMRAP, and then we'll see that little core piece in different movements, but similar format. So excited about that. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Drink a lot of water, get some sleep, extra recovery tonight, and then I will see you on Thursday. All right. Thanks, guys.